following this project from the beginning, then you know that the goal of this project is to take the CRF300L and make it just be a Swiss Army knife and do everything it possibly can. Done dual sport stuff. We've also thrown supermoto wheels on it and done supermoto things. We've thrown a rack on it and some bags and a little bit of light adventuring. We're gonna be doing a lot more of that coming up soon. We're gonna take this thing on a road trip from where I'm at in Texas all the way to the Mojave Desert for the Get On ADV Fest. Ride it out there, then ride it all the way back home. Yeah, we've been playing with all the things except we haven't actually taken this thing to a proper off-road park and done enduro things yet. And that's because we were waiting to get the suspension done. Well, it's done. We did it. Now there's some people that say, Jake, this bike is too heavy, too slow. It's not an actual enduro bike. You can't do enduro bike things. And to that I'd say, shut up. It's got 21 18-inch wheels, a little over 10 inches of travel. It's probably just over 300 pounds right now, but you know, oh well. These days everybody wants to get a very specific bike to do a very specific thing. This is dumb. Are there better bikes? Sure. There's plenty of $10,000 enduro specific, that's all they do motorcycles. That's nice. Can they ride to California and back? Maybe, but I wouldn't, I feel a lot better doing it on this one. Now I'm not just setting this thing up to take it to some local trails. We're gonna be going to the Red River Off-Road Park in 2 days from now. Me and my buddy Chris and Matt. Been there before in the past. It's a great park. They used to do Red Bull Last Man Standing there. It's pretty serious. They got a little bit of everything out there. And so we need to get some appropriate equipment to do that. First thing we need to address is the tires. I wanna be honest with you. Guys, when it comes to tires, particularly off-road tires, I'm not an expert in these things. Revzilla set me up with these tires. They asked me which tires I wanted, and I said, I don't know, and I used their Gear Geek thing where you go into the chat and you ask them. I've never been ashamed to ask somebody a question if I don't know. And the off-road tires, they're just as complicated, if not more complicated than street tires. People will run different fronts to rear all the time. What we have here is a set of Metzlers that they sent me. What are these? These are, I think they're called MC360s. The front is a medium soft and the rear is a medium hard. So we even have different compounds in the same tire. I'm told should do a great job. Also, while we're in there, we're gonna throw a set of heavy duty tubes, also came from Revzilla. One of the things you wanna do when you're riding in places like that is lower down the tire pressure. You know, it might be around like 15 PSI or less. More grip. That extra grip also has the potential of causing the tire to slip on the rim, and if it does, it will roll the inner tube and rip it. That's where Trackside, oh, these are Trackside brand. My discount code works on these. Revzilla sent me these rim locks. You've never seen these before. Most dirt bikes run these. It just locks the tire to the rim. Now our 300L already has a hole in the rim for these. It's just a little plug. Also this, which I believe this is a 44 tooth, so we're gonna go up 4 teeth on the rear with the dirt setup. Obviously when you're in the dirt, we're not looking to have, you know, like highway mileage capabilities. More acceleration, less top speed is always good. The bike will probably actually be quicker than I've ever felt it with this on there. A new chain for the rear. This is a dirt chain, no O-rings on this. So, I mean, they don't call it a dirt chain, but that's what everyone uses these for. In my opinion, when you know you're gonna be around sandy, grimy conditions, I love them. Non-O-ring, one, gives a little more power because it's less friction in it, but you can just clean the hell out of one of those. There's no O-rings in there to worry about. I will use a brass brush on those and scrub them, with WD-40 the whole thing up, and then wipe it down and put some normal oil on it. Chains like that, I would not wanna run out on the road, but this is not a condition we're on the road. You know, we're gonna be out however many miles at a time, roll back in, throw some oil on it. That's fine. So those are the parts. Thank you, Revzilla. I think they supplied all of it. Yeah, this is all from them. It's actually not that hard of a job. If my calculations are correct, it'll turn our little dual sport wannabe enduro bike, you know. It's not a real enduro bike. Pinky's out. Start by removing the rear rim. I've got axle sliders on mine. They come out pretty easy. I should have removed the chain while the rear wheel was still on, just because it's nice to anchor the master link on the rear sprocket. One of the things that's a bit tricky is how you take this master link apart without tearing it up. If you want to reuse this chain over and over again, there's not really a good method to do it. If we try to drive these rivets back, it's going to push them back, but we'll also be pushing them back through the rear plate. It's not really the best idea, I think, to keep driving that rivet in and out of there, and it sort of tears these things up. That's why you're not really meant to reuse these master links more than once. This chain in general, it's not held up that great. I've been very, very crazy about like trying to keep it clean and keeping not putting it away all dirty and stuff. And I mean, it just always seems to have surface rust on it no matter what. And more so, all the red on it is just coming off. That should be a part. Yep, there we go. So now we need to break down our wheel. And to do that, I'm gonna try to use this tool I got a while back here called the Rabaconda. The idea of this machine is it's a tire change machine that can go into a little bag. It's a manual machine, doesn't have to be bolted to the ground like the normal ones. because you don't have to use a bar as a leverage. But I think the goofy thing is, when I was watching videos on this, one, I've never actually seen somebody do it with a Japanese wheel. It is slightly different because of where the rim lock is. Every tutorial is slightly different from Rabaconda itself. There's like 10 different ways to do this thing, and none of them seem to agree that this is the correct way. And the other thing, they're always just doing it so fast. Like it's supposed to be like this 3-minute tire change machine. You always see people in the videos, they're just rapidly doing it. They're thrashing the rims up. These are powder coated rims. I'd rather not destroy them if I could. I don't care if it takes more than 3 minutes. That's not my goal here. I would love to just be able to have a machine that I can not take up any space, change my tires when I want to, take it with me if I need to. That'd be really great. I'm gonna give this thing a shot. Stick the wheel on. I got some of these rim protectors. This is ridiculous. When I looked at the camera, it did not show it stopped recording. It just showed the battery was low. Apparently I missed this. Check this out though. Here's the clip from Rabaconda's own video. This is the same thing I was doing right here. You'll see this again when I do the front. Sorry, gotta insert it this way. Alright, so be delicate with that. I'm never gonna put that back in. Just sort of press the tire down off the rim. I take little bites. Oh, there it goes. Ah, I see. That's about to go. There it is. So let's look at this rim lock here. We should have somewhere along this rim a plug for a rim lock. So they got this rubber strip in here. This is to protect the inner tube from the spokes and whatnot. Pull that to the side for just a minute. And there's your little rubber plug right there. Oh, there we go. Just pulled it out. We'll put that on there. A lot of times it's just best just to put this band over it like that. I'm just gonna lightly thread this on. Well, that was easy. Spray this down with some soapy water in accordance to the laws. This thing is stiff. Valve stem hole right here. I've got the valve stem, just a couple turn threads on there. Let's see if I can't work the opposite side of this down now. I cut the tire like this around it, but it's still on this side of the bead lock. This is the thing, like I said, all the instructions they're showing on a KTM where the rim lock is right next to the valve stem, so they can just sort of pop it on to start. And yeah, I'll try to do this real carefully. There's a tube in here. If you're really not careful, I can very easily pinch this tube doing this, but I'm gonna do this sort of gently. And I think I can roll the tire up onto the, almost, pull you out. I need to push up on this. I'll release this guy. I'm pushing up on the valve stem, or the valve of the bead lock, and we're in there. Now I just gotta get this bead on. We should be good. The video I saw was the guy would take one of these, and he was kind of then using this as like a bead buddy. Push up on the rim lock. Just gotta be careful taking little bites of this so you don't grab the tube while you do this. I think we've done it. There's no air leaking out. It's good. It's probably overfilled right now. That's fine. Snug down the valve stem. That tire and that tube, that's a heavy setup right there. I'm gonna tighten my rim lock down. Finally, it's been sitting here with a good bit of air in it now for a few minutes. Put it at 16 for right now. It's good. While I got it sitting up on here, maybe I should pull this sprocket off and change it out. This seems like a good thing that's holding it. Let's do that. Nut on the bottom, so you want to loosen that nut first. Just gonna snug them down to start. And I'll tighten them up. Be sure you put all the main pressure into the nut on the bottom. You don't want to over crank onto the head. You're more just trying to hold that still. Black on black. Looks good. I like it. There's still air in it. We're doing good things here. Good chance this chain will be too long to start. It looks too tight right here. I got a lot to go forward. I know I don't want to go too much more forward because I'll be into this, but I think that's the better move. I I know everyone on the internet will just tell you can just smash these rivets out with a chain breaking tool, but they're idiots. Don't do that. You need to grind those heads down at least a little bit before you do that. Break your tool. That keeps us from having a bunch of metal shavings on our chain that we just shortened. Where my two links are gonna go in, they give you a little thing of grease. So you wanna squish some grease in there. No O-rings with these guys, you just sort of letters out, made in Japan. I guess we'll put those out. Put your clip on going like this way and not flipped around the other way, so there's no chance of it snagging on something and coming off, only snagging on things and going more on. Kind of shove this in here and I'll tighten the other side up the same. Almost. The rear, it's good. Let's do the front. The front is always easier in my opinion, just less going on. Oh my God, my leg is on fire. Oh, yeah. 21. I still need some practice with that machine, but I thought that went pretty good. It's been sitting overnight. Tires have not lost any air, so it seems like I did that actually halfway decently. This thing is so tall now though. It's like my WR was when it was on knobbies. Without my motocross boots on, I'm definitely on the tippy toes. I do think I'd like to remove the brake light for this trip that we're going on. This is just asking for something to happen to it, I think, out there. See how muddy you guys reckon it is inside here. We went through all that mud the other day. Oh yeah. All right, the tail light's gone. I don't want to just leave these loosely up in here. I'm not running this bike like this permanently. So we'll do this, a little cellophane, some cooking wrap. There you go. Tuck that down right there. It'll be ready for us when we want to put our tail light back on. Well, that's a dirt bike. The bike's not even in here anymore. I literally just loaded it in the trunk. I gotta leave in the morning and go to the off-road park. Just gonna load up my toolbox over there, throw a couple things that I need, spare tubes. I'm gonna bring that tire change machine with me because it's so small it breaks down. That thing's super cool. Be sure to check that thing out. The next video will be at the off-road park and we'll really put this thing through its paces. Now that video is already available if you wanna see it right now. That's over on Patreon. Not only is it already available, it's a longer extended version of the video. It's uncensored and ad-free. That's what you get by supporting my Patreon. We just do that to try to give something back for it. Join it, it's just $1 a month, and you also get access to our exclusive Discord, hang out and make fun of Roy. Just fun group in there. I'll see y'all at the off-road park. Take care.